What's up everyone, this is Dariusz Kalbarczyk, co-founder of MG Poland, JS Poland, AngularMaster.dev and WorkshopFest.dev. Welcome back to the Angular Master Podcast. Today we've got a special guest from London, UK, AI enthusiast and practitioner, GDE, MC, speaker, trainer, community leader, ladies and gentlemen, Gerard Sans. Hi Gerard, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm enjoying another rainy day in the countryside in England.
For those who don't know you yet, could you please tell us about yourself?
I'm a Google developer expert and developer evangelist for web, cloud, Web3, and now recently AI. I have been heavily focused on covering the latest Google Generative AI. And believe it or not, I've been really busy. Just in August and September, I've done 5 talks and 2 workshops on VertexAI. One was in Berlin and the other in London. I did also a talk at Google offices in Berlin, just showing all the new announcements in Google I/O. And I also cover Cloud AI platform for over 150 attendees there. It was pretty exciting. Then in September, as you know, I was traveling in the US for 3 weeks and I was mixing talks with holidays. There was the GDE bootcamp in San Francisco where we met, and Google product team shared the latest features. I also did a talk at GDG Los Angeles and GitHub San Francisco, where I cover MakerSuite and PaLM foundational models. It was really exciting covering these topics.
Could you give us an overview of Google's generative AI platform?
Sure. So on one side, we have the foundational models, which for Google will be PaLM 2. And then we have all the tooling and all the products that are being powered by it. Here we can find 2 main options. One is called Google AI, which includes MakerSuite, which we will cover later. And then we have also Google Cloud, providing a whole platform which is called VertexAI. The difference between these two are the capabilities, of course. VertexAI has many more. And if you are familiar with Google Cloud, that will be your option. The other one is more for people that just want to try it very quickly and experiment a few things. But if you want to get more serious, you can use VertexAI that will give you more security and scalability.
How can we try it out?
Well, today, the easiest way to try is by using Google Bard. I'm not sure if you have tried, but this is a free Google experiment where you can familiarize with the latest generative AI capabilities like creative writing. You can also ask general questions, and it can also assist you in coding, which is quite fun, and also give you some cooking recipes. Right now, you can also use images, and it will give you information about the image for you. But got just few major updates. So if you haven't tried since the release in March, I would recommend you to give it a go.
What is MakerSuite?
Well, MakerSuite is a tool that you can build the new wave of generative AI applications and use PaLM foundational models. MakerSuite makes it very easy to engineer your prompts, which is the query that you ask the foundational model, so that you can create an experiment to create AI-enabled applications. By using MakerSuite, you can also prototype, validate, and refine your ideas.
What is the foundational model powering Bard?
Well, this is the model that Google has created, and it has different flavors, let's say. We have PaLM 2 for text, which is, the code name is Text Bison. And we also have PaLM 2 for chat, which is called Chat Bison. We also have text embeddings that will give you access to some other more complex features, like, for example, using your own data.
What can we do today with Google Generative AI?
There's so many things that you can do. I'm going to just go over a few. And of course, we can use the chat feature. We can generate text. We can do translations, summarizations. We can also do classifications and entity extraction. And if we are talking for developers, we can generate code. We can fix bugs, explain complex code that we are looking at. It can also generate SQL and documentations or tests. There's now few new models around voice and images. So these are plenty of options for developers today.
How can you add generative AI features to your app today?
I think there are mainly two options. If you work for front-end or web, or if you're working on the back-end. For the front-end, we have the REST API that gives you access to the foundational models that we have mentioned. And on the back-end, there's a little bit more options because we have clients and SDKs.
So the most important question, how can we use Gen AI in Angular?
The main work that you will have to do is to create the REST API. I just created an open source project that you can find on my GitHub that shows how you can set up the PaLM REST API and also the VertexAI API. So that will be a way of using those. The easiest way, I think, today is using MakerSuite. You create your prompt, and once you test it and you are happy with it, then you can go to the option to see the code behind, and it will show you the JavaScript code executing that prompt for you. You can literally take that code, put it in your application, and use it. So it's really easy.
How can you learn about using Gen AI in Angular?
I think the way I did it was creating a BART experience. So there I built both the PaLM for Text API and also the PaLM for Chat. And then I practiced how I could add more features to those. And this is exactly what I did in the project that I have been working for the last 2 months. Some features that I added was, of course, Angular Material, access to the APIs for Text Bison, which will be PaLM for Text, and then some other interesting features like, for example, adding a rich text editor and introducing also generative AI voices with 11 Labs.
What challenges did you face building a mini BART?
Well, I faced a lot of challenges. The main one was implementing a whole PaLM client from scratch, because the only thing that you have is the REST API. So we don't have a client for web yet. There's a client for Node for the backend, but there's nothing for web. So I had to build that client from scratch. There's a few APIs, so that took me a little while. And then once I got the access to the REST API and everything was working, then I started building the features that will give me a chatbot and that will give me the different prompts on the UI.
I understand that creating an application that talks to our data shouldn't be difficult.
Yes, you can. Before I was talking very briefly about the embeddings. So we have a foundational model that will be giving you the embeddings, and you can load your own data and then do a semantic search to gather that personal or project data for you. So you can add that option.
Can anyone use PaLM today? How would that work?
Well, today it's still in beta. So this is unfortunately only available in the US. So it takes a VPN in order to access from a location in the US. But once you are using a VPN, you can use MakerSuite to create your prompts or to create your chatbots. And then using that, you can access PaLM foundational models and create your applications. I also wrote a Medium article explaining how to set it up for Angular. So that's some resource that you can use.
What are the benefits of using these tools? Are there any drawbacks?
We have seen a lot of excitement and hype around generative AI in the last few months. And I would say that we need to approach it with some considerations. The main considerations are hallucinations. And this is when the model creates information that it's not based on any facts. So that will be, in a way, will be wrong data. And this can happen for regular prompts or during a chat or while we are troubleshooting error with the help of BART or PaLM for text or PaLM for chat. And sometimes we will not notice it. If you are an expert in the area that you are working on, you will notice that there's some information that is not truthful. But if you don't check it, it may get you in trouble. So that's something to be aware. There's some areas that you can use generative AI and be confident that the results are correct, but that is still something to work on.
You're listening, Angular Master Podcast. Listen, code, repeat. Everything you need to know to become an Angular super developer.
What might the future of Gen AI look like in 5 years?
So this is a question looking into the future. And as we have seen, there has been a lot of fear, I would say, in AI, mentioning the end of the world, or maybe that there will be massive loss for jobs in different industries. I don't think that's going to happen in the next 5 years, but I think we are going to see AI being used more and more. And at the moment, we can just see how the changes have been great and massive in scale for Google, and we will see more of that.
What are your conclusions about working with AI?
I think the conclusion is that we need to be very mindful about how we use AI today, but this is the perfect time to play with it and see how far you can take it in your projects. Of course, you need to be a little bit careful. Even the whole strategy from Google is to use what they call the responsible AI principles, and this will be avoiding to do anything dangerous or illegal. Of course, when we are developing new applications using these AI features, we need to be very careful not to infringe any copyrights or things like that, or maybe exposing some information from your company to third parties. So that's something to be very careful. But I think this is the moment to get experience, know what you can do, know what you cannot do, and try to apply it in your company.
Please tell us about your workshop, which will take place the day before this year's edition of MG Poland, exactly on November 6th in Warsaw, and online, of course.
I'm preparing a workshop for the conference, and it's going to be around all that we have covered today, and also how I build this minibar project, which took me at least the last 2 months. So that's going to be an interesting workshop, which I will be covering everything from accessing PaLM REST APIs and building a chatbot from scratch.
By the way, how do you remember your last visit to Poland?
Oh, my last visit to Poland. what I remember a really nice coffee place not far from the conference, and I did enjoy a really nice breakfast on the sun. And I remember that it was really cool because it was on open air. So I was in a terrace and enjoying the sun.
What we can anticipate from your Master of Ceremony at NG Poland and JS Poland 2023?
I think the MC is going to be a little bit more crazy, a little bit better. Of course, year by year, I learn new tricks, and I'm ready to use all of my tricks in NG Poland and GS Poland. Of course, I also have the help of the organizers, so that's going to be something to enjoy and celebrate. So yeah, looking forward to the conference, and I'm not going to share any surprises at this time.
I'm also looking forward to our upcoming meeting in Warsaw. Today, I want to express my heartfelt thanks for joining us on the podcast. It's always an honor to have you as a guest. Thank you and see you in Warsaw.